All right, so a lot of you have asked for this. Today we're going to react to the behind the scenes first look, if you will, to the Michael movie. This was a video that the Universal Pictures YouTube channel posted on YouTube. I imagine this is some of the stuff that we'll see like in the physical media release of the movie Michael. Of course, the Michael Jackson biopic coming out in April. A lot of you are excited about it. I definitely am. I've made a couple of videos about it, reacting to the trailers and the teaser, and I gotta say, I'm in, okay? I'm excited to see this movie. I still have my concerns, but I'm excited. And I figured we'd take a look at this behind the scenes look, see a little bit of Jafar Jackson speaking on the role, the director, Antoine Fuqua, just get a little taste, you know, and to hype us up a little bit. So here we go. Let's see if we see some new things. I'd be interested to see that. Let's do it.
Michael, his life is epic. And to become the king of pop, it's an amazing journey.
The challenge of taking on someone like Michael Jackson, it sounded fun, but then the more real it got, the more pressure I felt. Going through this process of who can play Michael, how do you even start with that? And then, of course, I meet Jafar Jackson.
And I always tell everybody, how we start is how we finish.
I will say this is probably one of the most perfect casting choices that I've seen in a while, because when this biopic was announced, I remember I was literally like, who is going to play Michael Jackson? Like, seriously. Not only are you doing a movie on a larger than life character, a person who I consider to be the greatest entertainer of all time, a person who I think is the most fascinating non-fictional character I think the world has ever produced. I'm not joking on that. I really do believe that, besides like Jesus Christ. But it's like, who is going to play this man? Because, and the thing about Michael is that you can't put him in a box, because it's like, okay, do you want to go for more of the off-the-wall look, the thriller look? Do you want to go into dangerous? Do you want to go into early 2000s Michael? Like, how are you going to do this? Because Michael was just not one entity. He was not a monolith, you know. He was a composition of multiple personas and multiple ideas and contradictions, and he was androgynous, and it's like, and he had plastic surgery, like, and he was African-American, but he was starting to blur the lines a little bit. It's like, how are you going to go about this, right? And so I think it was a very smart decision for the studio to be like, I'm sure there's somebody out there. I don't even know, honestly, off the top of my head, what, like, famous actor right now could play Michael Jackson. I don't really even know. I mean, it would require a heavy amount of prosthetic and makeup, and I'm sure it can happen. But it's like, who would do it, you know? I'm sure somebody could step up to the plate, but it's like, I think the studio was like, you know what? We're just not even going to mess with that. We're going to go with one of his own. We're going to go with his nephew, right? And I think they did a genius pick. I mean, come on. I mean, just look at Jafar Jackson. He looks the part. He sounds the part. And as we're going to see here, he dances the part too. So I think it was a good choice.
So let's start with some fire. Day one. All I could think of was, can Jafar really pull this off? Man, when the music started.
Oh my God, look at. So in this image right here, he definitely looks, he's supposed to be playing a sort of 25, 27, 28-year-old Michael at this point. And, it sort of fits. It does look like Jafar. It does look like Jafar for sure. But the outfit is pretty accurate. And the certain angles, he really looks the part. Right here, he does look like an impersonator for sure, right? But it's all about how he looks in the movie, that classic Bad Tour mic with the little string there. Love it.
Jafar really pulled this off. Man, when the music started and he hit those first few moves, I mean, this guy killed it. I looked at Graham and Graham looked at me. I was like, who is this guy?
I never dreamed to be an actor or even thought of playing him, but I knew it was a calling. Embodying Michael, I really had to earn the role and prove to the filmmakers that I was capable of becoming Michael. Essentially, it was starting at the roots and finding that authenticity.
He took it to a level that none of us thought he could take it to.
That's part of the
Dude, that spin right there, that man in the mirror accurate spin, are you serious?
None of us thought he could take it to.
Beautiful.
That's part of the magic of Jafar.
I'm sure that this was an easy decision for the studio to make, but at the same time, it was an incredibly difficult decision because this is going to be the highest grossing biopic of all time. Unless the movie's like completely awful, this movie is going to be the highest grossing biopic. Calling it right now, right? And I was a doubter. of that. But if Bohemian Rhapsody made over $900 million, I think this movie is going to easily hit $1 billion. Okay, again, unless it's awful. And I could see that the studio, it probably was a very scary decision, a risky decision to put Jafar Jackson as the titular character, because it's like he doesn't have any acting experience, at least that we know of, right? He is Michael's nephew, and he does come from a family of entertainers, so, there's something there. He could potentially do the part, right? But he had to prove to the filmmakers that he could do it. And I'm interested to see more in the acting department, right? Because this sort of snippet is telling us a lot about the dancing and the performing of it, which he is nailing, like, to a T. And that's a whole other thing, too. But I want to see a little bit more on the acting. It's like, what does it take to play the character of Michael Jackson as a person, right? Like, I would like to see a little bit more of that. Maybe we'll get to see more behind the scenes of it as the leading up to the movie, or of course in the physical media release. I'd love to see how he was able to tap into the character of Michael as a person, right? It's like how do you play his eccentricities, his quirks, his voice, right? His philosophy. How do you embody that character? That's really what I'm more interested about, more than the performance of it. I understand that, of course, it's the Michael Jackson biopic, so we're all concerned about the dancing and the performing and all that. But I'm actually really more concerned on the story front and the acting. But I think also with the performing, going back to that, it's very refreshing to see an impersonator, at least from what I'm seeing so far from these snippets, that is very, very accurate to Michael. Like, I see Jafar dance and I'm like, this guy gets it. Because there are plenty of Michael Jackson impersonators out there, 100%. And there's some that really nail it, and there's others that bring their own style to it, which more power to them. If they have their own style, go ahead. But it's incredibly infuriating to see an impersonator, and especially an impersonator who has a lot of success, who you're like, dude, that's just not what MJ does at all. Like you're doing an example of it, and you're following sort of the trail, but you're deviating quite a bit here. And it's just, how are you an impersonator? How do you practice this for a living and not actually get it as perfect as you can and emulate Michael to a T? Like, it's incredibly infuriating. And so when I see Jafar dance, it is pretty goddamn accurate. And that's really commendable. And it has to be, right? It's the biopic. But you know what I'm talking about when you see those performers, those street performers, or you even see some really successful performers that have stages and full-on productions, and you're like, you are shortcutting that move. Like, that's not the way it is, And it's just really refreshing to see Jafar really hitting it here.
He has the desire, like Michael, to be the best.
See, even right here,
to be the best.
The head, the neck move right here in this Motown 25 performance, he's got it.
To be the best.
He's even doing the correct moonwalk, because as we know, Michael Jackson evolved the moonwalk. It became better. In the Dangerous tour, I think it was the peak moonwalk. Here in Motown 25, the moonwalk is very short. It was actually very short-lived. It wasn't as amazing, I think, as the later iterations of it. And so he's nailing even the shortness of the moonwalk, right? Like, and I should fucking hope so, right? I mean, this is a I don't know, $300 million, $200 million production, right? I should hope that he gets it right. Yeah, like right here, let's just see, right here he's rehearsing, but...
Like Michael, to be the...
Look at that, just the head, the neck and movement, it's accurate, man.
To be the best.
And I gotta say, I love Antoine's focus on the feet. You gotta focus on the feet. You gotta focus on the feet. In terms of the camera, right, perspective. So this is awesome.
Cut. Level up, let's go. Yeah, that's it. That's amazing.
I felt that love from Michael every day on set, from the crew and the cast. Everybody had that love and wanted to put all their heart and soul into it. I believe that music, we can change the world.
With Jafar, you can see how much he cares. That's what makes him so special. And whatever that spirit of Michael he's bringing is present, and everyone on the team can feel it.
None of us would be here today if it wasn't for Jafar.
He's got it, man. Even right here, right in the Thriller, he's got the mouth movements of what MJ did in the music video. He's got it. He's got that fervor that Michael had a very unique ability to transform himself. It was so beautiful to see how when he wasn't on stage, he was this very gentle, kind soul, which obviously he expressed when he did songs like Human Nature or Heal the World. But other songs, right? A lot of other songs, when he's performing, he becomes a lion. He becomes an animal, like on stage, you know? He just completely just transcends who he was outside of the stage. And Jafar is expressing that perfectly. Absolutely incredible, you know, because we see Jafar even just we see just small snippets of him talking, saying something like, I believe music can change the world when he was wearing the Beat It outfit.
I believe that music, we can change the world.
He's got that softness, right? That almost innocence that Michael had. Absolutely incredible. And then when he performs, he has that anger, you know what I'm talking about. So I love it, man. I think this film is going to be a spectacle. I think it's going to be an incredibly enjoyable film just from the get-go. The question is if it's going to transcend that, if it's going to be something greater than itself, right? If it's going to say something, right? And it's not just fitting the bill as a biopic, right? Like, I don't just want to go to the movie theater just to like get some popcorn and a drink and just listen to some MJ music and have fun and just call it a day. You know, I want a movie that'll change me. That's what I want out of this film. And from a little bit of the snippets of the trailer and the dialogue that we're getting in this movie, I think it has the right idea, right? Is it going to execute it is the question. I just hope it does, man. I just hope it does. For Paris Jackson's sake, I'll say that. But those are my thoughts on this first look for the Michael movie. Let me know in the comment section below what you have to say, though. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think Jafar Jackson is perfect? Do you think there's a little bit more oomph that he needs? Or what are your concerns for this Michael movie? What are you excited about? Let me know. Give this video a like if you like it, dislike it if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. You want to see more stuff like this. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you, you beautiful creature. But I think that's it for me. You all take care, stay safe, and until next time, I love you.